and thank you for joining us. Today we are with Marta Markowsky, who is an artist based in West Island of Montreal, more precisely in Lachine. We're going to talk to her about her interests and how she started painting. We are at her home, which is actually a studio. She lives in her own studio on 3 floors, more or less. We are surrounded by her beautiful art, and I'll turn the camera around and we'll talk to her. Hi again, Martha.
Hi
How are
there.
you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's a beautiful summer day, a
Very
little bit hot.
A little bit hot, a little bit humid.
Yeah, but we're not complaining, right?
No,
Not yet.
no, because you think about the winter coming. So
Exactly. Maybe we can start by you can start by introducing yourself to everyone that's watching us on our YouTube channel, L'Atelier du Village. It's a kind of a continuation of the work that I did when I had a store in Pointe-Claire village, and I decided to take that work online, virtually, and promote artists in West Island, and maybe not only.
Yeah.
And you are the first one. I'm really happy that you agreed to do that today.
I'm very honored that you've selected me of all people.
And yeah, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started painting. How did you become an artist?
Well, I started when I was very young. Because one of my hobbies was always drawing. And as kids, my parents would put us out in the backyard, and I have 2 brothers, and we would pretend we were producing a newspaper. I was the artist that would illustrate. One brother would be the photographer who would go out and see the actual happenings. For example, a lady got ran over by a car. So he'd come back and tell me it's a lady who got run over by a car. So I would illustrate this, and my other brother did the writing of the article. Now, none of these things were ever saved because this was kids playing, okay? But I always liked to sit and draw all the time. I'd be alone in my room and I would be drawing. And I continued through, and I always wanted to be an artist. I wanted to have a red sports car convertible, go to California and have a nice life over there. Well, not quite there.
Not yet.
Not yet. I was born here in Lachine, so I know the neighborhood very well, the back lanes and the side streets and whatnot. And I left here, went to Ottawa, and I got a job teaching business subjects.
Oh, completely different.
Completely out of line. And I never did any painting at that time. I would do illustration and posters for people, but otherwise not much. And after about, I guess, 20 years of teaching, I thought, oh, I want to be an artist. I want to paint. I've got to take time off and find out if I can do this and make a living. And so I got leave of absence from work and for a year. And I painted. I went around sketching and painting and whatnot. And people recognized, they would buy my artwork. And I thought, well, in those days, $50. I was quite thrilled to get $50 for a painting. And after the year was up, I said, I can't go back to teaching typing and shorthand. So I'll get another extension, which I did. And then I decided, I don't want to go back there. I can make a living out of this.
Was this in Ottawa? Still in Ottawa?
This was still in Ottawa.
Okay.
So I started out painting in Ottawa, got picked up by an agent, and then an art gallery, had exhibitions there and whatnot. And that's it. Since I'm single, I work all the time. Once you go and visit my kitchen, you'll see it's a studio in there. That's where I paint, because I don't do much cooking and whatnot. And I work every day. Like, I'll get up 5, 6 in the morning, and everything's in the kitchen. So I make my coffee, and I might sit down and start to paint right away. And then by noontime, I'll take a break and go out and take walks and do gardening and whatnot.
Do you have a special, item that you'd like to present in your art, or what inspires you to paint?
Everybody asks that. Everything inspires me. I hate to say that, but everything does inspire me. I mean, I could walk down
I can see if I look around, and you will see later on also. We'll
Okay.
try to film some of your art. I can see music, I can see outdoors, I can see winter themes, and yeah, cities and other stuff. So everything I can see that you are inspired by everything. So you don't have, because sometimes people, I don't know,
Do
get specialized or
yeah.
go to a certain niche, but it's
But
good.
I always felt that, drawing is so important. So sketching every day, drawing something, anything,
So
doesn't take,
life, generally,
yeah,
life inspires you.
exactly.
That's
So
what
I
we call it.
started off by, I was doing buildings, street scenes around Ottawa area, and live models inspired me a lot. So I do a lot of drawings. And one of my friends, he said to me, rather than going and paying some model to sit there and model for you, why don't you join us? There's two of us. We go to the strip club, and you've got all the girls you want to draw, and the guys are there, the bartenders are there, and stuff. So that's what we did. We would go there every Wednesday afternoon and sit there, have a beer, and I would draw the girls. And a gallery owner came and he said to me, why don't we do a big exhibition based on your barroom scenes? And so I would do these large paintings of people in bar rooms, dark scenes and whatnot. And it was quite interesting because the people who came to the exhibition, they would say to me, I wouldn't hang that in my house because, we know it exists, but we don't have to look at it every day. And I was quite discouraged, but the gallery owner said, just wait. He said, the day will come.
What
They,
time was that? I mean, like what
that was in
year? Do you
the
remember?
80s,
80.
90s, in the
Okay.
90s, yeah. And so he said, they will buy everything on the barroom scenes. So I was quite, okay, I got encouraged by that. And I would like to go to hear the music, symphony orchestras playing. So I would go down and sit in the concert hall and I would sketch the whole time because otherwise, if I didn't do that, I would fall asleep. So it was very important that I keep myself busy, and I would 2 hours. Don't ask me what they were playing. I just know that I'd got 5 or 6 sketches. And the first one I did, there was a lady, a violinist, performing a solo, and she was quite tall, slim, wore a black long dress, had red hair flaming out like that. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, my God, that's a painting with the musicians in the back. And I got home and I painted it. I did a painting, and the gallery owner here in Montreal said, well, you've got to do more of these. I mean, they are so interesting. And so I would continue going to the orchestra and taking doing my sketches. And on the way home, I would drive in Ottawa through the market area where all the girls who work the nights are hanging on street corners. And I would stop because they would be standing under a street light, and it was perfect scenery. And I do paintings of that. So that at the beginning became my two main focuses, the orchestra and the bar room or the girls at night. And then it evolved, and I continued doing my buildings, coming to Lachine and doing my street
So
scenes
when did
here.
you move back to
I
Lachine?
came back in the late 90s, I guess, because both my parents were here and both were very sick. So I came here and I moved my studio stuff over, which my mother was not quite happy about all this stuff coming in. But I stayed there, and I would commute back and forth to Ottawa and took care of my parents until they passed away. And then I had several teaching jobs here. So I did that and
Still
exhibitions.
business? Teaching business?
Yeah. No.
No?
Painting.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I
painting.
gave up
Okay.
business. Oh, I
Okay,
gave up.
so you gave up teaching business.
Yeah,
You
I
okay?
was strictly teaching painting. Did it in Ottawa, did it here, did it up in Saint Laurent, and then I would conduct workshops. I'd take groups up to Charlevoix, Kamouraska. We went to France,
Oh,
and
interesting.
yeah, so it's been quite an interesting journey, I must say.
That's really really nice.
Thank you.
So what keeps you going?
I
The
don't
love
know.
of art?
Yes, that basically because when the pandemic struck, I had just started before the pandemic, days before they started shutting everything down. I was doing a major retrospective, 35 years of painting career, and very successful, I must say. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, they shut down the exhibition, locked up the building, and everything was inside. And people would, had bought the painting, but paid for it, but left it at the gallery, thinking, I've got a month here, and I said, no, I can't. I've got to wait. And then finally, they said, you can come and pick up your paintings. You've got an hour to dismantle the show and get everything. And there were huge, huge paintings coming out of the show. And then because of the pandemic, people would come and I'd give them their paintings down through the garage. They never came into the house. I thought, wow.
Yes, I remember those times, even though they are not that far away. It's like
right. It's like a movie almost.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad we are back to
normal. People can come in now. Yeah.
Exactly.
So and then when the pandemic struck, I thought, well, all the exhibitions that I had lined up, all of them canceled, and I thought, well, why should I keep painting? Or what, like, how long is this going to last? But anyways, what else are you going to do? You're alone in the house. You can't go anywhere. Nobody comes here, and so I'd sit there and I'd paint from my sketches. I've got books galore to work from, and
so where people can find you, like if they want to buy your art or see or admire your art, and
they can go to my website.
Okay, so you'll give it to me and I'll put it in the description of the
because
video.
I used to be in many galleries across Canada, but I gave that up because it became too much as a one-man operation, keeping track of everybody who's got my paintings, and if they pay or they lost a painting, and so I decided it's not worth it anymore. I'm tired of chasing galleries that disappear with your work, and you can't tell.
And it's less like overcost, so there are less for you.
Sure, because you'd be trying to paint, and then somebody's, some gallery says, I need paintings. So you start to package everything, then you got to ship it out, and you got to make sure your records are correct, because then there's... So
avoid any loss or...
So then I decided, I started to wean them out, and I thought, no, I'll give the customer the discount, and instead of...
That's really great. I'm really happy that I got to meet you and have this interview with you. I'll invite people to look at your website, and before we end the interview, maybe you can show us your painting place.
Okay.
You said it's in the kitchen.
That's right.
Maybe just shoot some scenes with you painting, or anyway.
Okay.
If you want to add anything else to our viewers, let me know. And
well, I guess if you look at my bio on my website.
And you have a contact email and everything.
Oh,
if
yes.
people want to get in touch with you. That's
absolutely.
Really great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've done a lot, and when I start telling people what I did, and I continue on, and they say, "My God, you should write a book about your life."
You should, and maybe people are gonna be interested, and we can do a second interview if they want to learn more about you, or they can get in touch with you directly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you so much, Martha, for today. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I look forward to admiring your art that surrounds us everywhere here in this studio home.
I cleaned it for you people, by the way.
Thank you so much. Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You can see some of her music-related paintings. I tried to film them earlier as well during the interview. I will leave Martha lead the way and show us what she prefers. Okay, so that's your...
So that's my studio.
Yes. Wow, and the light is amazing, and the view.
I had my studio upstairs, but it was on the north side, and I didn't get the light that I needed, so I decided, I don't need this kitchen, and plus, to make a coffee or have something to snack and then look at your paintings at the same time. This is why I've never taken a studio outside, or like renting a studio space, because, like I say,
it's like you are outside here.
I am, I have the blinds open, And so we've got the birds chirping away, and it's perfect here.
You have the music.
I have the music. I don't need to.
So you also paint rocks?
You see, I paint everything. You know, if it's not nailed down, I paint it. This one I'm in progress of doing.
Oh,
And what I do with some of the
Canada Day
Yeah.
inspired.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what I do with these rocks is some of them I end up, because they're large ones, and I sell them. Others, smaller ones, well, I take them out. For example, I would take something like this. I haven't finished it to do my thing at the back. And then I will just put them on the side of walking paths. I'll put them on a tree, put them in the grass, especially little ones, cartoony ones like for the kids. I'll put them on the grass so the kids can find
that's
it.
so kind.
And otherwise,
You know, there is a movement, it escapes me now the name, but that's what they are doing. They are painting on certain days or weekends or something like that. I mean, they are painting all year round, but certain weekends they take their artwork and they place it, as you said, in a park, under a bench or on a bench, in a tree or something, and they tell people that they can take, but then they will have to like take a photo of the artwork in their home and put it on the Instagram or whatever, so to share it. So anyways, I can't remember the name exactly of the movement, but that's something what you're doing also.
Yeah, so every time I go walking, I always pick up some rocks. Like this one's in the progress. I'm thinking about what to do with that one. This rock came from my sister-in-law. She went to Greece. So she gave me 2 rocks from Greece. So one I did with some of the villages in the blue sky and the blue domes, beautifully done. And I gave it to her already. And then she gave me, says, I got another rock for you. And so she gave me this one. I thought, okay, well, this is, depends how you feel.
So the other side is a happy face.
Yeah, so a lot of them I would do. For example, this one is based with sheen. So you've got the fishermen on the wharf. Then on the other side, you've got the lighthouse.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just put my name on the side.
That's really cool. And I have to ask you about your T-shirt.
Oh,
Did you paint it?
Yeah, these are one
really,
of a kind.
Really cool. Are you selling those?
I sell these, yes.
They're on the website? Really cool.
I post 1 or 2 on the website, but usually when I do like art fairs, I usually bring my little suitcase of T-shirts, because they're this theme of the ladies with the high heels, and there's also the children with the umbrellas, and little dogs. This one, no, it said nothing. So people sometimes commission me to do one with, I want this lady with white hair, this one with blonde hair, I want a dog sitting there and stuff like that.
That's really cool.
So again, something to do all the time. So I do them on the side, and you'll see this. I do the ladies with the long legs, high heels, and the other subject I will do is kids with their umbrellas in the rain.
Rain boots and dog.
Exactly.
And the T-shirts can be washed in the machine, cold water
wash, and then just
hang to dry.
Just hang them to dry. Yeah. And
not in the dryer.
Take a lot. The colors never fade out of these things.
Yeah, so, really nice.
Martha
always also paints the Easter eggs.
Got the ladies with all their fancy little dresses, or you can have the orchestras.
And I see you have some more traditional ones.
Yes, I have traditional. This is all done in the traditional Ukrainian method.
Okay.
Of painting eggs.
Romanians do too, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, and so all the subjects, anything.
With tulips and, yeah.
Yeah, little girls there.
Very nice. Back with Martha in her basement and admiring the plants outside and the paintings on her larger studio,
well,
right?
This is my workspace where I package, frame, and do whatever I have to, and then I store
the admin work.
Yeah, then I store all the paintings here, and people can come and see them, or I take them off and decide this one's going somewhere.
Okay, we'll do a tour if you wanna.
So you got boxes full of paintings, suitcase full of paintings, T-shirts are there. all those empty frames.
And a lot of paintings on the walls.
A lot of paintings on the wall.
Really, really nice. So a lot of music inspired, as you mentioned. Yeah. Very nice. And you keep some of your
work tools.
Yeah, work tools here as well. Well, thank you again, Martha.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very much welcomed.
Well, thank you again, Martha.
Oh, you're welcome.
And see you next time.
Okay.